Welcome, everyone. This is the Wednesday, December 29th, 2021 edition of the NBA Triple Double Show, powered by the Predictive Playbook and presented by SportsMemo TV. And as you can tell, I'm the only one that has you covered today, but I'm going to do my best. We hope that Ronald Cabang is going to get well very quickly, like so many other Americans right now. We either have that chest cold or some kind of sinus thing, or worse yet, testing positive. So, we hope everyone gets over this very quickly. So let's talk about the show here. We're now 24-8 against the spread over the last 10 shows. That's 32 picks, and it's also 75%. We went 1-2 in the last show, so that's why we dropped from 79 to 75. But you know what matters? What matters is tonight. So we're going to get right at it here. For the Tuesday action in the NBA Hardwood, we saw home teams go just 3-5 straight up, 2-5-1 against the number, and the over again, it went 6-2, and the over is really starting to bounce back from the October-November under domination, and it's the old rubber band. You'll get used to hearing me saying it. The rubber band stretches and it snaps back, just like it does in the financial markets when you have a stock that's oversold or overbought. There is a high propensity it's going to snap back, and that's what we're seeing in the NBA right now. So we also talked about, for the home favorites that are often upset win, and if they're often upset win on the road, it's even more powerful. We paper traded. That means we didn't put money on it, but we were just watching this because I think this is another snapback opportunity. Last night, it didn't work so well. The trend continued in the Denver Nuggets' favor as they took down the Golden State Warriors on the road, nonetheless. And I had caution playing against Golden State, but last night would have been an opportune time. And of course, hindsight's 100% correct. But again, tonight we have another situation, which I'll encourage you to paper trade, and that is not betting on the Lakers because I still don't trust them. They covered last night against the Houston Rockets, 10-win Houston Rockets. They also gave up over 120 points to the 10-win Houston Rockets. And until the Lakers decide to show anyone that they want to play defense, I still will not back them with any amount of money, even if it's pizza money. I'd rather say, boy, that was a great game by the Lakers than put money on the Lakers and watch them get blown out by 20 points because they don't play defense. And that largely starts with the poor shooting of Michael Westbrook, who last night, by the way, had a triple-double, and he did shoot 10 for 17 from the floor in that triple-double. LeBron also had a triple-double, and I believe that marks the first time in his career he had a triple-double and a teammate had a triple-double. So that's pretty good stuff analytically. But I just do not see where the Lakers are going to come up with back-to-back nights playing the way they did last night. LeBron played over 39 minutes. Westbrook played over 34. And they had to fight like hell to get that win in the fourth quarter against the 10-win Houston Rockets. So I like Memphis, if anything, tonight. And by the way, the home favorites off an upset win are 16-32 against the spread. And if that upset win was on the road, and now they're a home favorite, 8-25 on the year for 24%. And sooner or later, that 8-25 is going to snap back in favor of the home favorite that is off that upset road win. Okay, so we're going to move now into the one game that I have here. And there is a game that I did speak with Ronald Cabang. That'll be coming up next. And we both agree on that play. So I'm going to mention that as the third play. But this one is one of mine. It's Oklahoma City is playing Phoenix. Oklahoma City is a whopping 14.5-point underdog playing against the home Phoenix Suns, who are off 2 consecutive losses. I mean, who would have thunk that? But they are. They lost at home to Golden State, and maybe that was just such a slap in the face. They went out and, I'm not saying they went out and partied or whatever, but I mean, sometimes when something bad like that happens, we talk about the hangover and the physical hangover of that loss. and being dominated the way they were by the Warriors might have carried over to this game against in their previous loss. So in this game, I'm not fading Phoenix. If anything, if I would be playing on them to respond very well in this game tonight. But there are three angles here that support the under. Starting with Oklahoma City, who's 25-13 to the under, revenging a loss versus the current opponent, the Phoenix Suns, obviously, of double digits or more in games played over the last two seasons. So we have Phoenix having won the last matchup against Oklahoma City in dominating fashion, winning by double digits. And now we have the revenge. So I don't like the word revenge because I don't think that really applies in sports necessarily. Maybe in the divisional series in the NFL, it does, especially this time of the year. Like Philly Eagles going down to the Washington football team this week. I think that has much more revenge meaning than it does in the NBA. But nevertheless, they lost their last matchup, and it qualifies. That's 25-13 to the under. Phoenix is 9-0 under off a close home loss of 3 or fewer points in games played over the last 3 seasons. The under in Phoenix games is 11-1 after a close loss of 3 points or 3 or fewer points in games played over the last 3 seasons. So after a close loss, 11-0, off a close home loss of 3 or fewer points, 9-0. I like the under tonight in that matchup. Definitely like, and this is the Atlanta Hawks are taking on the Bulls of Chicago. It's taking place at the United Center in Chicago. And it will be an entertaining matchup that saw both teams make deep runs in the playoffs last year, but are off to complete opposite starts in their 2021 campaigns. Line opened up with the Bulls as an 8.5-point home favorite. They remain at 8.5. I like this if you can pick up 8 at some places. I did do that earlier today. The total opened at 220.5, and it's seen a bit more overs than unders, and the price has moved up to a current level of 222-point price tag. So the Bulls were my futures bet for the year, over 42.5 wins for the season, and that obviously is off to a very nice start. Very happy with how they're playing. They're playing much better than I even expected, my most wildest optimism, but this is sustainable. This is not a team that is on the verge of a regression, and they have advantages across the Atlanta Hawks by leaps and bounds. Let's see here. The Bulls have won 4 consecutive games, covered the spread in the last 3, and have won 8 of the 10 and covered the spread in 7 of them. The Hawks are a completely different story in which they, losing 4 of their last 5 games, covered in only 1 of those games. And what's interesting here is over the last 10 games, they have lost 7 games and failed to cover the spread in 7 of those 10 games. Moreover, they covered the spread in the 6 games they won and failed to cover the spread in the 9 games they lost, spanning the last 15 games. So when they win, they cover, and when they lose, they fail to cover. That's the definition of Atlanta Hawks. And honestly, right now, I don't see how in the world the Atlanta Hawks would actually be on the road the way they're playing with the personnel problems, with COVID that all teams have, but it's putting them into a dysfunctional situation. I just don't see how in the world they would actually pull off the upset win. Of course, it's possible, but my money, and Ronald agrees with this, so I guess that's a good thing, but it's still just one bet. It's not going to count 2. I want to clarify that right away. We are both on the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls have advantages slightly in scoring offense, effective field goal percentage. The Chicago Bulls are number 2 in effective field goal percentage, number 3 in field goal percentage, pure calculation. Free throw percentage, they're number 2 in the NBA Association at 81%. Steals per game, they're 14th. Atlanta's 28th. There you go. Blocks per game, the Bulls are averaging 4.71, so they know how to play defense, obviously, and they contest a lot of shots. Second quarter scoring allowed. The Bulls are one of the best in the association, allowing 25.5 points in the second quarter. Third quarter, they are 9th. Fourth quarter, they are number 2. So you get my point. Offensively, They are also number 2 in the league in fourth quarter scoring, averaging 28.3. Guess where Atlanta is? 28th. 28th, averaging just 24. So if it's a tight game going into the fourth quarter, you might want to put a little pizza money on the Bulls to just dominate and enact their will on the Hawks and pull away throughout the fourth quarter. As a pizza money bet, I like that quite a bit. So I think that will cover us for today. So thanks for watching, and take a moment to subscribe and like and provide comments too. If you have questions, Ronald and I will do our best to get back with you. I did quite a bit of that on Monday's show. So we'll provide updates too if any of the news out of the COVID-19 health and safety protocol impacts our plays negatively or positively. Mainly it would be negatively. We'll be sure to do our best to get those comments out there so you're not wondering whether these are good bets to make on with your hard-earned money. So that'll do it for today. Thanks for watching. Have yourself a great week in sports betting markets. And cash in big, and we'll see you again on Friday, New Year's Eve, the last day of the 2021 year. And let's turn the page and have a much, much better 2022 year without all these illnesses inflicting all of us across the nation and the world. So on behalf of SportsMemo.com and the NBA Triple Double Show, always bet with your head and never over it. And may all the wins be yours. Thank you for watching.